This tiny thing is a Max 98357A amplifier. You can get a breakout board from Adafruit for $6 and on AliExpress for less than $1. The Max lets you drive audio from your microcontroller project. In this video, I'll walk you through how it works, create working examples with code, and show you this module's one clever trick that makes it amazingly simple and cheap for the quality that it delivers. Hi, I'm Josh, and this is Signal Drift. Maybe you're trying to design your own MP3 player, or you want to create a mini handheld gaming console. These are great DIY projects, but you're going to need sound. The Max 98357A is simple to integrate into your projects and provides reasonable quality for the price. We've got 3 watts output, which is more than loud enough for small projects, 2.5 milliamps quiescent current, and that means it will draw very little power when not playing, good for battery-powered projects. It runs on 2.5 to 5.5 volts, which is perfect if you have a lithium-ion battery source. Sample rates of 8 kilohertz to 96 kilohertz. That means we've got a lot of options, better than CD quality output if we've got space, and we have lo-fi options for constrained projects with beeps and boops. Here's the block diagram. We've got 3 different types of inputs: PCM audio, gain control, and channel select, and it outputs directly to a speaker. This is a typical application where they use 4 GPIOs, one for the SD mode, which selects the left or right channel, one for bit clock, one for the left-right clock, and one for the PCM data in. We wire gain to ground to get a higher gain. In our example, we just wire SD mode high to always select the left channel, so we save 1 GPIO. These breakout boards expose all these ins and outs with pins and terminals for the speaker, which is very convenient. They even include the decoupling capacitors. PCM stands for Pulse Code Modulation, which is a bit of a historical artifact as a name, but it just means you send the audio as raw sampled levels encoded as binary data. We sample the audio waveform at fixed time intervals. That interval is 1 over the sampling frequency. To capture a sound faithfully, you have to sample more than twice as fast as its highest frequency. This is the Nyquist limit. Human hearing tops out at about 20 kilohertz, so CD audio samples at 44.1 kilohertz. Old-style telephony only carries speech, so it gets by with about 8 kilohertz. High-end and archival audio can run north of 100 kilohertz. At each sample, we drop the audio level into a quantized bucket. 8-bit audio has 256 buckets. 16-bit CD quality audio has over 65,000 buckets. A PCM audio stream is just those raw, quantized values, one after another. I2S is a protocol for encoding PCM audio streams over the wire. B-clock, or the bit clock, toggles on and off for every bit of PCM data, and LR clock goes high to signal a right channel sample and low to signal a left channel sample. For the Max chip here, samples can be 16, 24, or 32 bits. Here I've written a small program to allow the Raspberry Pi Pico to send I2S tones to the Max. I'm going to edit the frequency up here, so 880, go up an octave, save, and but tones are boring. What about some retro effects? Here I've coded up a simple synthesizer API that allows you to shape tones over time. What about a 6-channel chiptune? Got Beethoven's Fifth. All the code for this is linked in the description. Okay, this is great, but what about recorded music? Here I've got a high-quality public domain recording. If we save our music as a wave, only the left channel, this encodes the audio as PCM. It's massive, 44 megabytes. We've only got about 2 megabytes on our microcontroller, so let's cut it down. If we cut it in half, that's still huge, about 22 megabytes. So I don't know, let's try maybe about 15 seconds? About 1.6 megabytes. Well, that fits. Not very long, but it fits. But how do we get this input into our program? I've written a small Python program to emit the PCM data as a C header file. Now we'll switch to an ESP32 to show how portable this code is. Well, at least a little music. Well, what about an MP3? If we carefully select our options, we should be able to get an entire file under 2 megabytes as an MP3. Modern microcontrollers are powerful enough to decode MP3s, and there are a number of options. We just have to incorporate them into our code. Here's a full quality MP3 encoded as a C header file, and here is the full file included as a C header file. It's a little bit lower quality, but I will play the higher quality one that fits about half the song into the memory. So not 15 seconds, but many, many minutes of audio. I mean, this isn't a great speaker, but that sounds really good. It sounds just as good as the WAV file. There we go. That's the end of it. It sounds great. So how does this Max chip get such good quality on the cheap? The Max 98357A is a filterless Class D amplifier. So what that means is instead of building a smooth analog voltage, it switches its output between its supply voltage and ground about 30,000 times a second. Here we can see that raw switching on the scope. The audio is encoded in the timing of that switching. The louder the signal, the wider the on pulse. The quieter the signal, the narrower the pulse. This is called pulse width modulation, or PWM. Normally, a digital to analog converter or a DAC would add a filter to average those pulses back into a smooth analog waveform. The trick of the Max is that it never generates an analog signal. It feeds the raw, amplified, high-frequency switching directly into the speaker. We can see that here on the scope. The yellow and blue traces are the positive out and the negative out, and they are very digital. And a bit noisy. Excuse my crappy scope. The speaker coil is an inductor, so it naturally resists the fast switching. And the speaker's cone is too heavy to move that fast anyway. Between the two, the speaker does the filtering for free. But where's that PWM? It's hard to see on the scope, but if we subtract the positive and negative signals, we get the purple line. See how the width of the pulse is changing? But the sample rate of the scope here is slow. Let's set the scope to sample an entire wavelength of the tone we are generating. At the beginning, the pulses are narrow, then they get wider, and then return to narrow again. A full cycle of our 440 Hz tone. Now, for the last two demos, I've been using the AliExpress module, and it sounded exactly the same as the Adafruit module. For all I can tell, they are identical. But one caveat is that the AliExpress module is cheap. It's like way too cheap. So it's likely a gray market part, or perhaps maybe even a clone. Caveat emptor. This one worked fine, but it could be a crapshoot. If you really care about quality and reliability, stick to the Adafruit breakout, or if you're integrating this part on a PCB, source them from a known quality provider. What ideas do you have for using this Max module in your DIY projects? Drop them in the comments below and let me know. Thanks for watching. I'm Josh, and this is Signal Drift.